My name is James Rothwell, and I'm the National Trust's advisor on silver, covering the whole of the National Trust. I suppose you should say, and so I've been over here to get involved with the setting up of the silver. It's come from the family here and from Rothwell as well. As well as being the advisor on silver, I'm also a curator based in the southeast of England, so I cover normal curatorial duties for that. And then as advisor on silver, I look at the way the silver is displayed, acquisitions, and sort of say, judging whether something's important, whether we should be trying to acquire it, research and writing of articles for sort of scholarly journals and so forth, giving talks, demonstrations, and sort of looking at how silver is used. So generally advising on the silver, its display and interpretation and so forth. So anything to do with silver. Because suddenly, from a house that had some silver on display in the dining room, not in huge quantities, suddenly we have one of the biggest collections in the National Trust. Obviously there's the in lieu silver that came after Lady Mary Berry's death, and that was quite big. But when Lord Londonderry decided to loan his silver as well, we then had an immense and really important collection. It's one of the most important collections in the National Trust. So overnight, had an enormously important addition to my portfolio of silver collections to look after. So Francis Bailey asked me to come and first of all to have a look and to think about how we might display it, and to look at how important it was and assess it as a collection, and then to work on its design and display. So that's how it all worked out. I used Mount Stewart fairly well. I've been quite a few times. I used to do some work over here helping Francis with some of the smaller National Trust sites. So I did the Spade Mill and the Grays Printing Press and the Temple Mausoleum. So I got to know the area quite well and been here for National Trust gatherings, sometimes with Francis over the years. So I knew it generally as a place, but I didn't know it in any detail at all. So this was an in-depth introduction to it, having to do this project. I worked with Francis Bailey as a curator, and then more recently Demelza Williams has come since she's become involved, and with the house staff, so with Lou, Andrea, Gina, and all the others, and then more recently, actually, which I hadn't had that direct contact with, the volunteers, and they have just done the most amazing work, because all the silver cleaning that they've done, staggering amounts, just over the last few days, huge numbers of pieces they've done, and they seem to enjoy it, which has been very satisfying actually for me to see that enthusiasm of other people for it as well. I think the biggest challenge was working out how to make sense of the collection, because it's not there. As I said, there are some incredibly important items, but there are also quite ordinary items, lots and lots of Bailey Club trophies and so forth, which in most houses wouldn't be on display. I mean, they would just be put away somewhere. We very much wanted here to show the full extent of it, so working out how do we do that, how do we put the grand with the less grand. That was probably the biggest challenge, and then once you've done that, working out how all the individual pieces go together to make sense of them as well. In terms of this project, I feel, yes, I do feel very proud of it. I think the first impression of magnificence, I think, has worked incredibly well. And we had to do mock-ups in a room completely elsewhere in the house, never in the space it was going to go in, because this is a brand new display. So figuring that out in a completely different context, and then actually for it to work. And actually the other thing I'm really proud of is the fact that we've got far more into the cases than we ever thought in the mock-ups, and there's virtually nothing left in store now. So I'm really, really proud of that. And the colour of it's been used to line the cases, which was a brave choice, and that was Lady Rose who suggested this colour with her knowledge of the place and her grandmother. And I'm not sure if I would have had the courage to do that, but my goodness, it was the right decision. It looks so superb. So I think that's the stimulating nature of working with a group of people, both the family, the staff here, the volunteers, and regional and immediate property staff, has been hugely fulfilling, and I'm very proud of being part of that. And I think that this transformation is the most staggering transformation of a house I've seen in my 20 years in the Trust. It is unbelievable what's been achieved here. And so I get involved in a lot of different projects, but this is one of the ones I feel most proud about, and I've only done a small part of it, so it's been hugely rewarding. This very week I learned that I had been successful in an application for a research fellowship, which means essentially I'm bought out for 4 months, and I'm working on a book on the silver at Ickworth in Suffolk, which has a Northern Irish connection, because it was the Earl of Bristol, and as in Downhill, so it's the same family as that. And it's a spectacular collection of mid-18th century silver. And I will now have 4 months, well, a bit later in the year, when I can really concentrate on it and get it done. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh.
I suppose the other benefit to me, as I came over here to do bits and pieces of work, but that was always only 1 or 2 days. And actually spending weeks here, I actually feel I know the area now, and feel comfortable and familiar with it. So that's been a great bonus. And it doesn't feel like going somewhere strange anymore. It feels like part of home, which is fantastic.